I get the cheat code, I'm a beast. They said they'll never let me out of lease. Stop all the cap, I'm just tryna see. You really back what you talk on the beat. They put me in, I'ma walk on the beat. I eat my plate and it make me obese. I been pushing lyrics like a Kingpin. And Wendy day we got no.
What's up? What's up?
Hey.
Olaf.
What's up, guys?
Happy holidays.
I love your sweater.
I appreciate it. It was a gift. It was one of my Christmas presents. I thought I'd,
What is that?
snazzy out. It's from a brand, say Lit.
Lit?
Right?
Okay.
It's a Lit brand. It's a
Dispensary.
And it's snazzy. You know, I like loud stuff to make me stick out.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? So, and then it's got to look a really dope design in the back. Can we put a link to the dispensary or something
Yeah,
in the description?
absolutely.
So if you guys want to get the hoodie or, support them or any way, shape, or form, we encourage it. But they got me this nice. It's like super cold outside, so I'm really cool, warm. Not cool, I'm warm, kind of hot. And, so I'm feeling very vibrant today, man. It was a good holiday. You guys had fun?
Yes.
Enjoyed myself?
Super good time.
Yeah. Wrapped a lot of presents. You had good times with the kids?
Definitely.
Good.
Heard you got a little topic for us today.
Not really a topic, but more so like a conversation piece. Like, I was threw this out the other day, and, we can always look at, timelines and say, because hip hop is only 50 years old. I think hip hop will be 50 in 2023.
Yes.
So hip hop, and this is what started the conversation, is that hip hop had kids, and our kids are bad as fuck. Okay, because hip hop being 50, that's our parents' age. Okay, so our kids are the 21 Savages, the Little Durks, the G Herbos, and the NBA Young Boys. Those are the kids that hip hop had. That's hip hop's oldest kids. Mm-hmm. And right now, their oldest kids have birthed younger kids, right? So now there's a whole new crop of artists that are coming up under these guys. You got the Glorillaz and all the camp that she's ushering in, and the people in that whole wave that are coming into the forefront. So we were looking at it, and I was like, well, you know what? And people are gonna look at me like I'm crazy, man. But if you really
You're used to that.
When you really want to think about, we can go back and argue it, man. Bling Bling, when that song came in, that song kind of changed
From Cash Money Records.
Cash Money Records. When Bling Bling came in, when that particular record changed everything, changed the direction. Because there were things that were leading up to Bling Bling. There were movements and records and stuff, but when that Bling Bling came in, that whole exuberant lifestyle, I'm sure there were diamonds and teeth way before in Texas and in everything else, but Cash Money brought mainstream. Opulence mainstream. It brought, hip hop had always been a symbol with the big dope rope chains and, Slick Rick with and Ghostface. When Ghostface had that big ass eagle, remember from the Beastmaster? Mm-hmm. So they've always been over the top. But Bling Bling was just kind of, it changed a lot of things. Then came Make It Rain, and then came
Air
all
Force
of those
Ones.
other things.
I remember Air Force Ones.
Man, and the Tip Drill video. So all of this stuff kind of like, it was around that time. You know what I mean? And I'm not blaming them for anything they did. They gave the world.
Yeah.
Louisiana still has not only has been one of the, aside from New
biggest
York, one of the biggest contributors to urban culture is the Louisiana sound, the feel, the vibe,
Agreed.
the people. So knowing that
even though the sound is based on a New York record, Triggerman, but that's okay. Keep going.
Right. But just their whole vibe, I mean, if you've ever been to Louisiana and you know somebody from there, then they're going to treat you different. The food is different. The energy is different. You get killed in the street corner in a heartbeat down there in the French Quarter messing around. But on the flip side, they have the arts and the way that it lives in the city. I had never really seen live music bands going down the street and just and people just going crazy. And you don't know what they playing and you can't sing it, but it make you want to do this to it.
Yeah, it's definitely a vibe.
Right? So it's definitely a vibe. So understanding that that's injected into the music and then the message that was thrown on top of that vibe. And it grabbed and people ran with it. And it's gotten us to where we are now, to where everything is a status symbol. It's a rat race. It's it's the boasting and the, look what I have. And I find myself having my conversation with my kids because my kids that, you'll get them something and they'll walk up to their friends and the first thing is, look what I got. And it's just like, hey man, that's not cool. Mm-mm. You know what I mean? That's not what it's supposed to be. But the more we do it, it becomes contradictory because it's just like, well, every time you get a plate of food, you want to take a picture of it. Every time you get a pair of shoes, you want to take a picture of it and put it on the gram so everybody can see it. Why can't I tell my friends that I have something? You know what I mean? So then it just brings me back to that, hip hop had kids and our kids are just bad as fuck. So,
I want to say also, go ahead, Wendy.
I was going to say, I think the problem is that we're not raising our kids properly. Mm-hmm. I don't think that it's the culture as a whole that's taking them down a certain road. I think we're not giving them the skill sets that they need to resolve conflict or to make good financial decisions. You know, I was in the elevator in Louisville, and a young kid, he could not have been more than 10 years old, said, "Wow, you got a Gucci watch." And I had a whole conversation with him about my Gucci band on my Apple Watch. And I'm like, wow, shouldn't this conversation be about like G.I. Joe,
right?
Not about
Facts.
Gucci?
Right.
You know, it's a different
video games or something.
Right. It's a Call of Duty, something. It's a different world. And I feel like Tupac said it best. Like, we're raising our kids to hate an entire generation. You know, we're
making the babies to raise the babies to hate the ladies.
Yeah.
And we talked about that as well. Have you ever heard the song "Self Destruction"?
Mm-hmm.
You heard it?
KRS-One.
When you get a chance, all you guys on there,
87, 89,
88, 90,
89,
yeah, around that
89.
time, go in the comments and search for it. There's a song called "Self
I
Destruction."
was 5.
Okay, and this song had, at the time, and I think it's the only record still to this day that may be done like this. And I may be mistaken if I am. Correct me, but it had every rapper, MC, like you name them, West Coast, East Coast,
West Coast,
everywhere in
yeah.
between. And they made a record that if you played it right now in 2023, 2022, it
resonates.
It still resonates.
Yeah.
We're headed for self-destruction. They've been saying that since the 80s. They've been saying that since the 90s. They've been saying that since 2000. And you'd think that as that voice getting louder and louder, people saying, hey, you're headed for self-destruction. Don't worry about it. Just turn the music up. You'd think we'd turn the music down and really be like, man, why does it look like the road is running out? We're not paying attention to the signs, man. And now things are really starting to backfire for us as a culture, which is bleeding over into the society.
We're losing youth like at a rapid rate between suicide and gun violence. And we all know I have plenty of guns, so this is not an anti-gun conversation. It's an anti-people conversation.
Right.
Like, we got to do fucking better.
And let me also add, Bling Bling actually also changed the way people bought jewelry. It influenced a big, like, instead of the gold ropes, remember those went away. It was the tennis chains, and it was nothing but diamonds. Like, and the jewelers got turned up. Like, I don't know when the jeweler became a commercial, the jeweler became a promoted. The jeweler became just as important almost as an artist. Like, now you have to go to Eliante.
Yeah,
in the 90s.
If they're not Eliante,
Yeah.
if it's not Icebox and all that, it ain't legit. Or Wafi. One time for Wafi. But yeah. Wafi's my guy, though. I ain't gonna cap. Wafi's my guy. But I just say that to say the jeweler.
You just made your point.
I know. The jeweler became so important. And I believe Bling Bling was a big influence on that, because Bling Bling, you don't think a rope. You don't think
No, you think diamonds.
a Cuban.
You think shine.
You think a bust down Cuban. You think a bust down watch. You think a bust down.
What is the first thing?
Why didn't the realtor become important?
If you were in an airport,
Facts.
and I'm sure this has happened around you, and somebody walks in covered in diamonds, one of the first questions that most people are going to ask is, are you a rapper?
That's exactly. Or do you play sports?
If you guys that smoke gas, do you want regular weed or do you want rapper weed? It's opulence, man. Hip hop is opulence, man. Hey, do you know we came from the projects in New York City? We own champagne from France. It's opulence, man. It's taking pride in coming from nothing to complete and utter dominance and ownership. But in the midst of that,
own a strip mall. You want to impress me? Own a fucking strip mall.
I do
own
believe
a subdivision, buy a community.
There we go.
I do believe that there are some very positive parts of hip hop, but I do think, if I'm looking back, and as I'm an older young man now, I do believe it was a point where the streets and the music went like this.
Yes.
And a lot of people were like, I'm not finna sell drugs. I'm finna go do this.
Right.
And they took their street knowledge and applied it there. But then sometimes the streets still catch up to you.
Gotta
If
keep it
you
real.
owe someone money from such and such, and you're this big time rapper now, and they see you in the hood, They finna come collect. We see that all the time where rappers get killed and murdered in their own city from some stuff that was previously that they did or dealt with or didn't handle. And then when they go back home, it gets handled and dealt with, unfortunately.
Right. Bad ways.
I think I just really think I saw a merge of the street culture go into hip hop, and unfortunately, I mean, what you want a guy to do that's literally selling cocaine, and that's not even in no more, or selling dope.
Right.
Dope boys are gone. They're rappers now.
Horrible. But I will say this much: as much as we want to talk about how bad our hip hop's kids have gotten, we do need to also highlight the fact that let's try to. Wasn't 21 Savage doing like a financial literacy program for the kids?
Yes.
Can we get the city to maybe bring that in? Because he does an amazing community give back with the back to school event every year. I think he gives like 1,000 book bags or something.
Yes.
And the schools, the stores they've been putting in schools, a lot of the different artists have been contributing. Those are some of the things that I think a lot of our artists aren't highlighting.
Right.
Their contributions. And, because you're not supposed to, you don't do it for the praise and the recognition. But I think that if you're one of those ones that people are looking up to and are feared or revered, and you're doing some of that stuff, I think you should be highlighting that more, and you should be documenting that soft side or that in tune side or that community activism side. Because at the end of the day, man, you're only as strong as the community that you're trying to poison.
Thank God for Wendy Day, because
All my
Wendy
artists do
Day,
that.
I was going to say, Wendy Day educates her artists, and they feel a lot more smarter when they're working.
It's in their marketing plans. Every artist I've ever worked with.
Me and Blaine had this conversation. Working for Wendy Day, working with Wendy Day, and working for Wendy Day there's going to be two types of people with it. There's going to be the ones that think that it's the pinnacle and they don't have to do nothing else to keep it, and those are the ones that usually wander off. And there's the ones that are in awe and feel like they have to fucking bust their ass every day to keep that in, because understanding. So
That's
the
my
kind
whole
of
team.
pressure that she puts on her clients it's reciprocated on her team. There's
Agreed.
Yeah.
Everybody around her
Agreed.
feels that they have to over deliver because of who they're around.
But it also it's my style of leading is to do, like, you see it when we got on the road. I still jump out of the van and hang posters and hand out postcards. Like, that's,
Yes, it's true.
as a human being, you kind of got to do everything.
In Versace's.
And let me also say,
In a pair of Versace.
In a pair of
fucking shoes,
Versace.
bro. All in fucking
in
exit 4 off the
Hey,
freeway.
wait, time out. In shoes that don't come out in
Hold this
America,
way.
by the way.
Oh, shit.
They're out in France or in Europe. Anyway, but I want to say this. I just lost my train of thought. I want to say this about Wendy Day. I think.
And then can we be done?
Okay. Well,
It's making me very uncomfortable.
we gotta give you your flowers. I think people like Wendy Day should be highlighted and are not highlighted enough. And I think the media needs to do a better job of not highlighting the bullshit and highlighting the real shit. But
But don't highlight me.
The problem is the real shit doesn't get likes,
No
comments.
sensational.
It's not sensational. Because that's what you're supposed to do, and all, it's nice and it's bubbly. People don't want to see that. They want to see destruction, and they want to be able to comment and think about it, talk about it. And it's like some type of allure of seeing someone get shot. Oh, how many times 50 Cent got shot? 5 times, 6 times? 5 times.
Right.
That was
A
an
whole bunch.
allure. That was an allure for people to be like, yeah, he got shot 5 times, and he's rapping this gangster
Like a
music.
badge of honor.
It's
that
like,
made him real.
You know what I'm saying? And he's big and swole. He works out. Like, people really like to gravitate towards that, but they don't gravitate towards the guy who actually beat the odds, got a good job, went to college, got a college education, and just is a good father and doesn't cheat on his wife.
Can I tell you something?
Sensation in that.
Because
I don't get it.
Most of those people are like Wendy Day, and becoming an adult is understanding that you can have all of that shit. I don't want nobody to know what I'm doing, because the minute they think I got it together, they're gonna want me to give it to them too. And when you've gotten to a point and you're working and you're doing it and you're giving back to your community and you're doing your thing and you're a citizen, and you haven't, you've done that because of engineering or real estate or whatever business moves you've made, then kudos to you. Go duck off in a corner somewhere and live your life as an executive and go to the Maldives. But if you're a celebrity out here, if you're an entertainer,
passport.
if you're an athlete and you're making money off of your community, providing them an entertainment or providing them with art and providing them these things, then and you're giving back to that community, I think that needs to be focused more, man. I think we need to see more of that. And unfortunately, it doesn't sensationalize. So what we have to do is we have to retweet it. We have to repost it. We have to share it on our stories. We have to share it on TikTok. Be the change that you want to see. God damn it.
Boom. That's
Post
it right there.
You don't fuck. You think the world doesn't need no more violence? Then post a fucking butterfly video today, bro. Listen. I follow a page, all bullshit aside, called Earth Pics.
Oh, I love Earth Pics.
One of the most amazing pages on Instagram, right? Follow Earth Pics. Find you something. They post amazing things every day. Repost it, man. Spread a little love, bro. Post a teddy bear. Post a picture with your kids, man. Post some flowers, a fucking bumblebee, something. Everything doesn't have to be death and destruction.
You happy in a relationship? Post your spouse.
Man, listen. Do it all.
It made them feel better.
Post your food, man. Post whatever you want, but just do this. Do what makes you happy. And if you're enjoying the moment, I think my wife was reading a study from Princeton University that how social media and the capturing of contents is diminishing our memory. We're so caught up in how everybody else is capturing and living their moment that this memory that would have been embedded to our parents seeing REO Speedwagon or Julio Iglesias 60 years ago, we won't ever have the memories because we can't remember the whole concert. We're so caught up in trying to capture a moment than enjoying the moment. And I think that was something that was kind of like, it threw a light switch on for me because it was just like, damn, dog, put the fucking phone down, B. It's okay, bro. Put it down. Look up for once in a while. I used to have this weird-ass pain in my neck, and I realized what it was. Looking down the whole time.
Oh,
Fucking wow. We're going to have a whole generation of humpbacks.
And before we go,
short motherfuckers gonna have the
before we
big
go,
hunchback and shit.
the reason we're here right now is because I felt the sensation, no homo, when we were having conversations.
Right.
And I was like, we got to put this shit on camera.
Right.
We have to put it on camera.
And look how it's working.
Yeah.
We're three friends that can talk about real shit with each other and not piss each other off because we understand us as individuals.
Right.
So I thank y'all that I don't piss y'all off. I know I piss y'all off though.
Keep pissing them off.
What you say?
Subscribe.
Yeah, buy a cup, buy a mug.
Cheat code.